fiance is mad because he found out I did stuff with past hookups that I won't do with him, and now he believes I only set limits with people I really love. I'm 25F and I've been dating John, 29M, for 3 years total, and everything's been really good between us. Right from the start, I felt like he might be my forever person, so I was super happy to say yes when he proposed a few months back, even though we had to pause wedding plans because of CVID. I believed we were in a good place, but now I feel like we've hit a huge problem that's making everything really awkward with us. With restrictions in our state winding down, we finally hosted a small get-together, which mostly included friends I had from college. I think with all the recent stress, we all went a bit out and the booze was flowing freely. At one point, we had a party game of sorts where the topic became kind of intimate. I don't want to get too explicit, but they basically asked if I'd ever done, backdoor stuff. I didn't feel comfortable answering, but a friend of mine who was super wasted blurted out that I did it with X and Y. The room fell silent, everyone staring at me in shock. My face burned with embarrassment as I realized what had just happened. However, John's demeanor shifted noticeably, and when I pressed him about it, he revealed his discomfort about my past experiences. We'd always avoided discussing our histories, but now he wanted specifics about certain intimate acts I'd engaged in during college. When I reluctantly admitted to having done those things with about 8 different partners, his real concern emerged. Why had I refused when he'd suggested trying similar things together? I attempted to explain that those experiences belonged to a different phase of my life when I was exploring and experimenting. The acts themselves felt degrading to me, which paradoxically made them exciting with casual partners during my wilder days. But the thought of engaging in them with someone I deeply loved and respected felt completely wrong. I wanted our physical relationship to mirror the warmth and respect we shared in everyday life, not recreate scenarios that made me feel powerless or diminished. John couldn't understand this distinction and said some cruel things, including a comment about how I'd been willing to do anything with a college baseball player, but suddenly had standards with him. Though he apologized, the damage was done. Our physical relationship ceased entirely as tension consumed us. When commenters pointed out that John might feel rejected since I'd done these things with others but not him, I tried clarifying that I hadn't lied when I told him I wasn't interested in those acts anymore. He'd asked about my current preferences, not my history, and I'd answered truthfully. The person I was in college enjoyed the taboo nature of certain experiences precisely because they felt transgressive and intense with people who meant little to me emotionally, but I couldn't imagine wanting my future husband to see me in such vulnerable, degrading positions, or to speak to me the way those casual partners had. After reflecting on the situation and considering John's feelings, I decided to compromise. I told him I'd try incorporating those elements into our relationship if it would help us move forward. He agreed, though his enthusiasm seemed muted. The experience was devastating. What had once felt thrilling with strangers now filled me with profound sadness as John proceeded mechanically, seemingly oblivious to my distress. I found myself in the shower afterward, sobbing as I realized our relationship couldn't survive this. During our final conversation, John admitted that learning about my college years had fundamentally altered how he saw me. The image he'd constructed of who I was had crumbled when confronted with my past, and despite his efforts, he couldn't reconcile the woman he'd fallen in love with and the person I'd been before we met. Eventually, we both realized it wasn't working and decided to end things. John was kind and helpful and helped me move out to a friend's apartment who had a spare room I am now renting. I would be lying if I said that I'm really okay with the situation, since it's been nothing less than disorienting. This was by far the best relationship I ever had, and I am still struggling to figure out how it just kind of crumbled so suddenly. Fortunately, my friends have been very supportive, and my workplace is opening up again, so at least I can take my mind off of the relationship and move on with my life.